Welcome to another new video. Let's begin.
And I'm a chicken cutlet connoisseur, and I think I make the best chicken cutlets. Is it fair to be called the best chicken cutlet sandwich in New York? We wouldn't disagree with you if you called us that. I don't love to call any of our food viral because this is something that people get once and they come back for and they crave. But I can see why it's caught fire on Instagram and social media and stuff like that. I'm Frank Tutelamundo, and we are here at Mama's 2 West Village, and I'm going to show you how to make one of our most ordered sandwiches, the chicken a la vodka. What I love about the chicken a la vodka is that, for me, it touches on everything. And when you bite into it, it's just like the perfect balance of all kind of different robust flavors. So the chicken a la vodka's got 4 awesome components that make it great. That's going to be our juicy fried chicken cutlets that are nice and crispy. We have our vodka sauce, we have our awesome pesto, and our house-made semolina bread. All of it's really good, and it makes for that perfect sandwich. So we're at the very first step of the dough making process. We are going to mix our water and our flour. One thing that's going to be really weird to hear is that I am really allergic to plumes of flour. I would have a really bad asthma attack, but it's pretty funny to see as soon as we get the flour in the mixer, I kind of run away until that flour is hydrated with the water. Now we're going to add our yeast, and then we're going to let that kind of mix and amalgamate a little bit further. We are going to be adding our salt, which is also really key in strengthening our gluten. We're going to add some water here, and that is to evenly disperse the salt throughout the dough. We're coming toward the tail end of the mix, and then we're going to add our olive oil in. Come closer, guys. You hear the dough slapping? That's when you know the dough is done. We are going to load up this hopper with a bunch of our dough that has been bulked and proofed. We're using a dough divider here, which simply because we mix large batches of dough, and we want to make everyone's job easier, so this machine definitely does that for us. So here we go. We're going to start shaping. I want to come down. I'm going to come over. I'm going to seal one side. I'm going to come around. I'm going to seal the other. Gonna tighten this bad boy up. Right now we have our loaf shape for the final shaping, and then we put some sesame seeds on. So the scoring is allowed to have ears on the bread and allow it to expand and really get that texture we're looking for and give it that good oven spring once we load it into the oven. And then we're gonna bake them off, and it's gonna come out nice and golden, like just the way you love it. Our first batch is ready right here, and this is the awesome end result that we love. We're gonna try and not burn our hands opening up this bread. And we're going to make a bunch of chicken a la vodkas for you. All right, so the next step here is one of the most essential parts of the sandwich, and it's going to be our chicken. And I'm something of a chicken cutlet connoisseur. I've eaten chicken cutlets my whole life. I want to make sure that I'm putting out the best chicken cutlets possible, and everything that I love about chicken cutlets, I kind of want to incorporate to what we do here. And the first thing that we're going to do is make our batter. So we don't always use a traditional egg wash for our chicken. But for me, what's really the most important is a really cold, sparkling water that's got a lot of gas and bubbles in it, and that will do the trick. Yeah, so I'm going to basically mix this batter until there's no more lumps from the flour and the actual mix. The second thing that's really important is the breading. The breading's really essential, and it consists of, our bread that we make here in store that we dry out, and then we grate for the base of the breadcrumbs, and then we have some spices, some traditional stuff like a little bit of oregano, dried parsley, fresh parsley, a little bit of salt, pepper, some other spices that we get in here that are really good. I can't tell you, but it's going to be the star of the whole chicken cutlet, and it's going to be something that stands out to you when you bite into it. Breading chicken is one of the things that's kind of like therapeutic for me. And I also often fight with my mother all the time during the holidays on who makes the better chicken cutlet. I've grown up eating hers my whole life. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take what I love about yours and just make mine better. All right, so the breading step is complete. Now all that's left to do is get this in the refrigerator, let the breading set, so that when it comes to service and we fry our chicken, it comes out as for the perfect Mama's 2 chicken cutlet. So next we're going to make our vodka sauce for the sandwich, and that's going to be involving making a sofrito, starting our base for the whole sauce, and it's going to be basically roasting our shallots, garlic, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, really simple, and we're going to toss that in the oven for about almost an hour. All right, so as our sofrito is getting roasted and sweated out in the oven, We're gonna get this to a rolling boil. Stove on, get the last of our peeled tomatoes in here that are milled, and then we're going to start adding our spices. I'm gonna start with our salt and kind of measure everything out with this ramekin just for ease. So we use this immersion blender for a lot of things, and it helps us bring everything to the texture that we want. We're gonna go ahead and add the heavy cream, which is gonna add to that velvety texture we're looking for. And there actually is no alcohol in our vodka sauce. So no cooking wine, no vodka. And, you know, for me, I don't really see it as so much of a flavor profile that, you know, is going to contribute much to our vodka sauce. So we just omit the step. All right, so our vodka sauce is now finished. We're on to the next step. All right, so we're going to start the process of making our pesto, which is the key ingredient and the key sauce for our chicken alla vodka sandwich. It's going to start with, like I said, really great basil, some shallots, some garlic, some Parmigiano Reggiano, Pecorino Romano, and a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to blend it up and get it going. So while I'm blending this, I'm going to add some olive oil a little bit at a time, just as you would when you make it in your food processor or any of your home equipment, or even your immersion blender you have at home. All right, so we're done with the pesto. We've got the texture and the consistency of what we're looking for, and we're ready to go on to the next step. All right, pal, so we have our chicken over here that we've let set in the refrigerator for the past 3 hours, and we're ready to fry some up. Let's do it. I think one of the most important parts of any sandwich, including the chicken alla vodka that we make here, is going to be the layering of each of the components in the sandwich and then allowing each one of those ingredients to really shine. I went through countless amount of times, you know, going through the order in which I put the ingredients, and I feel like this is the best way for us. And here's how it goes. So we're gonna go ahead and put our vodka sauce, and we're gonna ladle it over the top pretty liberally, and we're gonna make sure we coat the top of the sandwich. We don't want it to drown in vodka sauce, but I do want to make sure the vodka sauce really permeates and gets all the way to the bottom of the sandwich, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm opening the bread up. I'm going to put a little bit more vodka sauce over the top once again. And then our next step, we're going to go ahead and put our burrata. And I love this burrata. I get it out from Jersey. And what I'd like to do is make sure that we spread it over the entire sandwich. And it just gives you that cold cheese effect where you got hot chicken cutlets, hot vodka sauce. Then you have that like soothing burrata and the pesto over the top. That just gives you a different experience when you bite into the sandwich. All right, now we're gonna cut these sandwiches up. The last step here is going to be our pesto. And I love to tell our staff, hey, you know what? Think of doing 2 M's over each half of the sandwich. So 1 M for each half, 2 M's total. Mama's 2. Yeah, it works. This sandwich is craveable. Everything that we do here is really craveable. It's really well balanced, and we pride ourselves on that. And that's it, pal.